Hi, I'm Bette Hochberger, CPA CGMA. This channel aims to educate you on tax, tech, crypto, and finance related news. Come learn how to grow and keep your wealth. Today, we're going to have a little discussion about why high income earners are flocking to Florida. Now, moving to Florida is nothing new, right? The state's been growing for a long time. But there is one significant change, at least from my perspective, for why this has happened in the not so distant past. A couple of years ago, there were big tax changes, and one of them is what we call the SALT limit. SALT stands for state and local tax. So for your individual tax returns, the income tax deduction on your federal return, right, your IRS return for your state income taxes was limited to $10,000. And it's not just your state income tax, it's state and local. So that also included your real estate taxes. So if you live in a high income tax state, like say, I don't know, New York, you are limited by that $10,000 cap on your federal taxes for how much you can deduct from what you are having to pay to your state and to your county and city and et cetera, et cetera. So it's taken a couple of years, but I think people are starting to really feel the pain of losing out on that deduction. Now, there's other things that come into play when you're talking about standard deductions, and that could be a whole separate discussion in and of itself. But the states, if you look at state income tax rates, there's some bad ones out there because you think about how much comes out of your paycheck, right? California, over 13% tax. New York, 10, almost 11%. Minnesota, Oregon, almost 10%. This is a lot of your money going to your state taxes. So it's become a little bit painful for folks to be shelling out all of this money over and over. So Florida, with our beautiful beaches and our fantastic, look, you can go be on a boat, right? We have great environment here in Florida. Most of the time, the weather is not trying to kill you, right? But even when there is a hurricane, you get plenty of notice, or you can get out of town if you need to. But we live literally in paradise. Good chunk of South Florida is in the tropics. If that's too hot for you, you can move a little bit further north, cools down a bit, and it's just great living. If you love being outside, if you like the beach, if you like boating, fishing, there's so much stuff to do here. Now, things that are a little near and dear to my heart, having teenage children, our university system has become phenomenal, right? University of Florida is a fantastic school. It's actually really hard to get in. I have people that call my office and want to know what they need to do to qualify as a Florida resident so that their kids can get in-state tuition rates. So those nice weather, the good schools, it's going to keep bolstering what's going on here in Florida. People are going to keep wanting to move here. And, maybe you're not so into the cold anymore. I used to live in Boston. It was really cold. You couldn't pay me to go back. Even if Massachusetts became tax-free, you couldn't get me to move back to Boston just because of the weather alone. And there's, social issues, government issues outside of taxation that also people start to like some of what they see in Florida. We've got a lot of freedom here. There's not a lot of government intrusion. I mean, we got to talk about some of the bad stuff, though, right? You got to get ready. We do have high insurance rates. It is sad but true. The insurance rates in Florida are high, but, a little bit of cost of living in paradise. We have been, though, making our cities much more pedestrian friendly, though. So you don't necessarily need to have a car if you're moving to one of the more urban areas in Florida. I was in Tampa not that long ago. They have a fantastic trolley system of all things. We've got the Bright Line trains. You can go from Miami all the way up to Orlando. It's getting expanded to Tampa. There's just a lot of great infrastructure and a lot of companies moving here, and it's bringing more and more jobs and more opportunities. It's also such a great place to be an entrepreneur. We have a very strong entrepreneurial spirit here in Florida, and the government's actively trying to continue to foster and grow that. So if you're a Floridian, drop a comment. What do you like being a Floridian, right? And if you're thinking about being a Floridian, you have a question? Do you want to know some secret about our alligators or something here? Whatever it is you want to know, drop a comment. We'll see if we can give you a good answer, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for sticking around. I hope you learned something new. Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe to my channel if you want to continue improving your tax and financial literacy. Bye.